Hello everyone, Zelx here, and today a new maintenance patch notes have been dropped, and for an update that's probably coming depending on when you're watching this, either tomorrow or today. So the cards being changed are Lumera, Aurelia, as well as Auntie Maria from Forestcraft, Swordcraft, and Dragoncraft. I'm just gonna quickly go through the cards and give what I think the impact on the meta will be. And personally, I think the Dragoncraft one is the best. So going through the buffs in order, first up we have Plumera. She's going from a 2 mana to a 1 mana 2 mana 1 2 to a 1 mana 1 1. No changes to her text, but this is already a really huge buff for Forestcraft. The reason being that Forestcraft really lost one play point followers. 2 play point is not bad, but 2 play point is really janky for Forestcraft. If you have played Forestcraft, you will know that you 2 play points are really hard to bounce and replay again, and you really rather have 1 play point followers. This make being 1 play point actually has new synergies now alongside now that Primera is 1 play point, she can synergize with Castell's Verdant Prayer, Windflower Tiger, Sylvia Panther, as well as allow you to invoke Rain easier since you can bounce Plumera to play her again. Although a lot of people has been really worried that this will make Fairy Forest really dangerous and probably maybe even push Fairy into probably a tier 2 or tier 1 deck. I don't think so. I at most I can see Fairy being a tier 2, but I don't think it will be a tier 1 meta breaker. Simply because one play point doesn't really help Fairy. Since the Fairy is already being aggressive with Nobles and the 2-1 Fairies with last words that burn your opponent. With Tumera, maybe you get an extra 4 burn off all the different fairies, especially if on turn 4, maybe you go Nobody's evolve Tumera into a fairy. That will basically be already a 2-1 2 damage burn. But it's almost no different from playing Boomerang on the earlier turns and then just waiting for turn 4 to go for that play anyways. I mean, except for now in this case, you can actually return this to your hand. So your Castel will actually be a Castel's Verdant Prayer will actually come online, or it will be at least not maybe not come online earlier, but will definitely come online a lot easier. That's why I think that the main winner for the main deck winner, right, for this buff is actually Castel Forest or or Control Forest, kinda. Because Control Forest, I'm talking about the one which relies on the quest where at least 10 allied Forestcraft followers have left play, and then for Castel it goes all the way up to 20. That is a major winner for this buff. Although Fairy Forest did benefit from this, it's not going to be benefit as much as compared to Castel Forest. Castel, how their late game control that, they just get an additional source of drain, they get an additional 1 drop follower to bounce. It's going to feel so much smoother to play Castel Forest now. And yeah, it's just a 3 attack auto evolve drain you need for Castel Forest that even gets buffed by Castel's Verdant Prayer. I think this is really strong. Actually, no, it's not really strong. It's a well-deserved buff, definitely. Forest has been in a bad spot for quite a while, except for recently it has actually seen some representation in the JCG and Shadowverse Open. But I still think this is well-deserved. It's not at all a major meta breaker. It is just it just hits the sweet spot of making Forestcraft feel a lot better to play, even though it doesn't really break the class in any major way. Like it's probably not that bad. If you think of it, it just advances a lot of your win condition, but it's not like it just accelerates your win condition to like win the game on turn 5 or turn 6. It doesn't do that. But it just makes the class a lot stronger, which I think I really like this sort of balance change. Moving on, we have Aurelia, Glorious Saber. Aurelia now goes from a 5 mana 2/6, right? 2/6 to a 4 mana 2/4 and gains the ability to attack 3 times a turn instead of 2 times. That is actually a very huge change from what she used to do. From in the past, she can only deal with 2 followers on your opponent's board as well as being a sticky follower to deal with. Now she can deal with 3 followers, which let's be honest, you're probably not gonna see you have three followers really often on turn 4 or even turn 5. Your opponent's not gonna have three followers ready for you to run or rely into unless they are evil portal. In which case, this is actually somewhat semi-good. On turn 5, you can pair this with Wise, and now that she's 4 mana, I can actually steal it with Phantom of the Strings and put it back to my hand with Fear Their Fear, but that's another story. But let's talk about the strength of this card. So for now, she's definitely weaker to kill. She definitely warrants an evolve point to kill Aurelia though. At the very least, I think she'll be after trading in, right, she might be a 4-3 or 4-4, and then you also have extra play points to play more followers. I think it's a really minor buff to Swordcraft. I don't think it's a major player. Aurelia has actually never been seen being played in any ready list as of like the past couple of patches, past couple expansions already. We have never actually seen Aurelia being played. I doubt that pushing her to 4 mana will make her auto include any deck. It's just maybe a good quality of life option in case Ghost Shadow gets too overbearing and you just feel like, damn, I wish I have a card to deal with Ghost Shadow. Well, this will be the new card that you just slot in to attack against Ghost Shadow. Even though it kind of doesn't deal with Ghost Shadow's win condition, Ghastly Banishment, I think it does well in helping you wrestle back control in the middle game. It's not in terms of balance changes, I think this is probably the weakest of the three. I don't see this bringing Swordcraft up to even a tier 3 deck. It's probably still be a tier 4. But it will be definitely will match way better into Ghost Shadow instead of like its current state right now. We just get runs over by Ghost Shadow anyways. Now, lastly, we have the Auntie Maria, the condemned legendary that is introduced in Asphalt, and I think this is actually the biggest winner for this patch. So Auntie Maria gains the ability to put herself, a 5 play point version of herself with 5/2 in stats, back into your hand after you accelerate her once. So this way, she actually doesn't need any of the other condemned cards anymore. She's a self-synergistic 7/2, 7/4 storm, and she also gets drained from now on if you play a condemned card during your previous turn. Basically, she sets up for herself. She's a 7 heal, but she doesn't deal with your opponent's board. She's another burn damage. Very strong, and she actually bridges turn 6 for condemned Dragoncraft. In the past, your condemned Dragoncraft preferred curve is like the 1 drop, 1 mana 1/1 rush on 1, Asphalt on 2, Hot Headed Morando on 3, into the 5 play point 4/4 that deals 4 and 2 to the enemy leader twice, and then into that again, and then Auntie Maria on 7 to finish off the game. Right now, you can actually breach turn 6 with Auntie Maria, and she also helps you survive the game. Assuming that you're not able to snatch ball control back, you're able to have another way to raise them to actually see who burns down the other player first. In this case, this isn't just a buff to condemn Dragoncraft package as well. This also buffs all the other Dragoncraft decks in existence. It buffs Ram, it buffs Arm, because there's Arm condemn after all. I think it might buff this card just because this is an additional drain. It helps your Dragoncraft players to survive, like probably just an extra turn. Like 7 heal is not a small amount. It's a very large amount of healing that you can get from a 5 play point follower, that you can even send face to do 7 damage. You burn 7, they have to deal with Auntie Maria. They have to deal with a 7/4, and now they also heal 7. It's a very huge buff for Dragoncraft. I can definitely see this being slotted into a lot of Dragoncraft decks alongside Drazael as well as Forte. Although that you can play them all in one turn. Actually, you can play them all in one turn. Forte is 6 mana. You can pair 6 Forte alongside Auntie Maria, but this is a very good buff. It's not in any way game breaking, except it actually applies a lot of pressure onto your opponent as it goes through wards. I think if you're facing against Dragoncraft in the new patch, you will definitely have to watch out for Auntie Maria. if you're facing, you need to watch out. You need to reevaluate how much little reach you have, because they, who knows, all of a sudden they might just drop Auntie Maria and you'll cry because she just heal off your little range. It's personally, as a meme deck player, this is probably going to be one of my most hated cards in the upcoming patch, but I can see this being totally well deserved for Dragoncraft as well, since, well, Condemned Dragon hasn't been seeing a lot of play lately. I think it's well deserved. It's not absolutely annoying, but it is a good buff for Dragoncraft overall. Well, and that's basically all my thoughts for the upcoming patch. I will definitely be testing this patch out live once the patch drops. So if you're free tomorrow at 1 a.m. July 27 PT, do remember to tune onto my channel and join my stream. Well, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.